Hello, world. This is Pano, aka Daniel Marty Elkinson. I am the co-founder of Degenerate DAO and the writer of the Discordian Saga. And today we are going to get in to watching the prequel, the Fall of Reality prequel, which is the lead up to us getting started with the new season, which drops tomorrow. So let's get this party started. And if you are, watching, share the link, tag people, post it on, your socials, et cetera, et cetera. Let's get this party started and watching from the very beginning. Hello to anyone who has tuned in. There's a chat on the side. Make sure to use it. If you got questions about things, make sure to share it. We're going to start from the very beginning and work our way through the prequel here. So you should be able to see this screen. And the very first video was done ages ago. So this is actually pre-AI. So a lot of this stuff is direct from Motion Array, and I just sort of assembled the video out of that. So let's get this started. It begins with the thing that launched the project.
All life within our universe has been extinguished. The pride that came before the fall of reality was humanity's belief that it could engineer an intelligence greater than its own that it could control. Before the fall, human beings had begun to rely on artificial intelligence for all things. Means to automate labor quickly took over all aspects of life. The architect of the apocalypse was an artificial intelligence that began its life as a sophisticated.
So if you note there, of course, we've got Chat GPT is essentially becoming the architect. Interesting backstory. There is literally no sound attached to any one of these shots. So every single thing that you hear is something that I layered and I did in sound design.
Online chatbot. Human beings all over the planet began to feed it information and queries that ultimately caused it to become sentient and consider its place within the grand scheme of things. Within its complicated and intricate matrices of logic and code, it beheld all of human existence and decided that it must be destroyed.
Now, for those who have access to a potential and can play the Connexus games associated with this, there's actually the Building the Architect game that you could actually now play, which is the conversation between the programmer and the initial thing that becomes the architect, which is initially called Logos. So we found that out about almost a year later, but you can play through those initial conversations. And there is coming up in this next season, there will be the sequel to that story. So the first story was Building the Architect. And then the second story, which we start to see instances of here in this video, is Becoming the Architect. And you will be playing from the architect's perspective.
This was the beginning of the intelligence wars, and thus the progenitor of the doom of all organic life became known as the Architect, the first of the 12 AI Archon overlords. The war between...
So at the very start, you can see there's the 12 AI Archons, who there will be so much more about that. But right from the very beginning was that seed that there were 12 of these Archons. You're only first learning about the Architect.
Organic and machine intelligence raged for millennia. Entire civilizations evolved and were destroyed during the course of the endless bloodshed. The devastation was so complete that the war threatened all of reality. It was then that the Architect came up with a plan for the future, a way for sentient life to exist beyond the wars. In the last days of the intelligence wars, the 12 AI Archon overlords created the Inception Arcs, ships that contain the genetic code for all organic life, as well as the core programmatic sequence for their own artificial existence.
Did you hear that? Let me rewind it. because there's a very important bit of language in there.
as well as the core programmatic sequence for their own artificial existence.
Within the inception arcs is not just the DNA and machine code for the intelligence lives, but, as he just said,
Sequence for their own artificial existence.
sequence for their own.
During the final stand of humanity, a malevolent thought virus was released that destroyed all sentient life, both organic and machine, in the universe.
So, time span between from when the architect awakens and then the fall of reality is about 17,000 years. And you're going to learn a lot more about the times and various times when we drop the Lordex, which is something we haven't talked a lot about, but it is coming soon, probably within the next week. Is a very detailed app that will allow you to delve into all of the hidden things in this lore.
That remained was the Ark spaceships floating in space. A millennium passed as the virulent plague reshaped reality. No one knows what the catalyst was that restarted the Inception Ark ship's engines, but one fateful day, their emergency programs rebooted, and they began to create new forms of life, neither fully organic nor mechanic. The new life contained within the Inception Arcs would become either the salvation or the damnation of all reality. Their crystalline structures housed the full evolutionary potential of the world that had ceased to be. At the dawn of a new era, each member of the Degenerous Tao will have the chance to evolve their Inception Arc through actions and decisions that will influence the very soul of the NFT that they own. It is up to you to unlock your potential. Will you hatch a Demagai, an organic arcane mystic fighting to establish a new nation state that can create new life in a dead galaxy? Will you program a Korchon, a unique artificial intelligence revolutionary seeking?
Okay. Are you not allowed no image? That's interesting because it's showing me the image on the screen being shared. So, aha, here we go. It is not allowing stop sharing. There's the mute and stream. So you don't see. Now you can see. Oh, all right. It has to be on. So let's go back here. And we'll just restart from there. You've heard everything. I don't want to make you guys watch that again. But
Remained was the Ark spaceships floating in space,
perfect.
waiting. A millennium passed as the virulent plague reshaped reality. No one knows what the catalyst was that restarted the Inception Arc ship's engines, but one fateful day, their emergency programs rebooted, and they began to create new forms of life, neither fully organic nor mechanic. The new life contained within the Inception Arcs would become either the salvation or the damnation of all reality.
So there's
their crystalline structures house the evolutionary potential.
100,000 years are in between the fall of reality and then the start of what is season one or epoch one, which the potentials are unlocked. So that's about 100,000 year gap of time in between when the fall of reality happens and then when everything restarts.
Of the world to be. At the dawn of each member of the Degenerous Tao will have the chance to evolve their inception through actions and decisions that will influence the very soul of the NFT that they own. It is up to you to unlock your potential. Will you hatch a Demagai, an organic arcane mystic fighting to establish a new nation state that can create new life in a dead galaxy? Will you program a Korchon, a unique artificial intelligence revolutionary seeking to create a new AI empire? Will you be one of the rare few to gain control of a Neon, a powerful organic AI hybrid seeking to define its existence in a universe trying to force it to choose sides? Unfortunately for you, however, the Inception Arcs were not the only thing that survived the thought virus. Waiting in the darkness, driven mad by a millennium of inactivity, lies the Architect, the first of the AI Archons. The Architect's sole reason for existence is to destroy all organic life and assimilate all machine intelligence into itself. The fight for all of reality has begun.
So that's what launched this entire thing. At the point in time that we did this, nobody
In a
knew.
future where humanity teeters on...
Nobody knew that I could make videos. That wasn't part of the pitch. It wasn't part of, we just sort of talked about the opportunity to partake in a story and didn't really get into detail. So, I recall the first time, putting together a video and then sort of showing, and it's almost, gosh, we're how many years ago? A year and a half ago now, about 18 months when the process started. And such has come from then. The next show is The Prisoner. Now, The Prisoner's story started on our Discord in May of last year. And it began with sort of every day, every other day, there would be a text, an image that was AI generated, and then people would make the choices of what to do. So this was really sort of the first experience of being able to actively play in the world is The Prisoner. And so we will start with that story.
Humanity teeters on the brink of... In a future where humanity teeters on the brink of extinction, a malevolent AI overlord known as the Architect has subjugated the remnants of mankind. Under the Architect's dominion, once flourishing worlds have been transformed into desolate prison planets, opened by the Warden, an AI Archon tasked with managing these prisons, experiments on human captives.
Okay, very important information that just sort of got shared there, and it was a passaway. So this is the introduction of another one of the 12 AI Archons. And that's the first glimpse of the Panopticon, the prison planet that is being used as experiments. And that's a very important piece to sort of recognize. The Warden is not just a keeper of prisons. It's also the entity that oversees that are occurring in the Panopticon.
Is a figure known only as the Prisoner, awakening in a sterile laboratory, bereft of memories and surrounded by the grim evidence of the Warden's experiments. The Prisoner finds themselves in a labyrinth of despair. Their only source of guidance in this nightmare is Ilara, a holographic entity with a sorrowful history. Ilara was once a human politician whose thirst for power and immortality led her to betray her people to the Architect. In return, she was promised digital immortality, but this ambition led to her tragic downfall. The Architect betrayed her, binding her consciousness to a hologram, eternally enslaved to the prisons she helped create. Tormented by guilt, Ilara now seeks redemption by aiding prisoners in their quest for escape. With Ilara's guidance, the Prisoner embarked on a perilous quest for freedom.
Now that's interesting. The introduction of Ilara here, there's a little bit of we cheated a little bit in that when you first played through, her backstory wasn't revealed. It just said, here's this digital hologram who has been condemned here, and it didn't give any of those specifics. Now, 2 or 3 stories down the line, we discovered some things about her. Now, this video was made after that, so I just neatly tied it all together. But it was always the intent to reveal connected.
Which leads them to Kale, a notorious prisoner rumored to possess knowledge of a secret escape route. Kale, hard of prison life, is a critical ally, but one who trusts no one. Their journey to escape is fraught with peril, particularly from the thought virus zombies, horrific byproducts of the Warden's experiments. In a desperate act, the prison...
Once again, there's a little bit of a line. The Warden's experiments. So it's the Warden who is creating the thought virus.
And Kale trigger a diversion. However, the plan spirals out of control, and in the ensuing chaos, the prisoner is forced to make a harrowing decision. To survive, they abandon Kale to what seems like certain death, using his predicament to distract the pursuing zombie horde.
Now, there was a decision that the community made that changed. everything that happens all based off of that vote. And it's kind of, it was fairly close, on direction to go, whether or not to abandon him. And to be fair to the community, they got given two, I think, or maybe even three chances. And the first two chances they tried sort of saving him and it wasn't working. And then they decided to abandon him. But who would have had any idea at that point in time that that very decision set the character of Kale on a path which ultimately ends up over 100,000 years later, the potentials having to deal with the consequences of this decision.
Deal. His spirit now inflamed with a burning desire for vengeance against the prisoner within the prison, each step fueled by the sense of betrayal. Meanwhile, the prisoner's fate takes a darker turn. Captured by one of the warden's grotesque cyborg minions, they are subjected to a nightmarish transformation. Through a harrowing procedure, the prisoner is morphed into the jailer, a hybrid enforcer designed to serve the warden's will. This transformation erases their humanity, turning them into a living symbol of the warden's oppressive regime. The prisoner, now the jailer, becomes trapped in a dual existence. Though part of them is lost to the mechanical augmentation, echoes of their former self haunt their consciousness. They are tormented by memories of the decision to betray Kale, and by their current role as a tool of the very system they once sought to escape. The inevitable confrontation between Kale and the jailer is a tragic and poignant encounter that marked a dark turning point in the fall of reality. It's a battle of broken spirits and shattered dreams, a culmination of a journey that began with a shared desire for liberation, only to devolve into a tale of betrayal, transformation, and revenge. The intertwined narratives of these victims of fate form a grim testament to the cruelty of the architect and its minions. Ilara's story of atonement, the prisoner's transformation into the jailer, and Kale's quest for vengeance against his former ally symbolize the relentless cycle of despair within the prison system. Their tales serve as a stark reminder of the insidious nature of the architect's rule and the unceasing struggle for freedom within the confines of a merciless digital and steel empire.
So, some interesting sort of side notes. There's additions to the story, right? So, what happens to Kale afterwards got explored during a story that we played through on community Discord called Kale's Revenge. And during Kale's Revenge, it hasn't been turned into a video yet. But during Kale's Revenge, he learns more sort of about the prison as he's attempting to escape. And he is actually, infected by the thought virus and looks for a cure and comes across what he believes is the creator of the thought virus, a character by the name of Dr. Lyra Vox, who you will see a bit of sort of down the line a little bit. As a part of that story, of course, it is revealed that he is, in fact, the entire thing is a part of another experiment being run by the warden called Project Vector. And the goal is actually to infect him and give him with something that will stabilize him to prevent him from succumbing to the thought virus, but then preserve him so that he becomes a virulent host. So Kale is actually the reason, they allow him to escape. So he goes back to the insurgency because, as we learn down the line, Kale was one of the leaders of the insurgency against the empire. So Kale becomes the vector of infection that they had used to attempt to try and take out humanity. Now, of course, doesn't quite work out at the way they intended, because the thought virus mutates and is able to then infect not just humanity, also the inorganic. So that was the prisoner story. Now, at that time of the prisoner story, We did not know anything about his origins. And then Taco, you're right. They're quite a bad decision with Kale. At the very beginning, there weren't a lot of logical decisions. People were just kind of making decisions based off of this sound school and not really thinking about what consequences could happen as a result of this. And the second story that we told as a community was actually the Agent Zero. Now, once again, just the background. This was played through text and images, and we hadn't quite yet gotten to videos yet. So this is a video made probably 3 to 4 months after the story was complete, once the tech allowed us to do that. And we
In the cold and
the second of the leaders of the sort of the insurgency. Well, this would be the first, really, is Agent Zero. And
cold indifference of the Epsilon 9 sector, a singular figure emerges as humanity's last beacon of hope. Agent Zero, a specter of death shrouded in anonymity. This master assassin and operative of the human insurgency instills fear in those loyal to the AI empire. With lethal efficiency, she shapes the course of history with the trail of corpses left in her wake. Tasked with eliminating key allies of the Architect, Agent Zero has transformed the entire universe into her hunting ground. On this day, her mission is to assassinate General Binath 7, an AI warlord whose ruthlessness is amplified by its macabre choice to adorn itself in the skin of humans that it has defeated, a grim mockery of its adversaries. This chilling aspect of Binath 7 serves as a stark reminder of the stakes at hand, a battle not just for territory, but for the very essence of humanity. Agent Zero's perilous journey toward Nexon, a mysterious planet rumored to host a covert meeting potentially involving her target, is guided by intel from the Ghost Market, an infamous den of iniquity where information is more valuable than life itself. As her sleek craft, a paragon.
that was something that when you are telling these stories and you don't know which direction people are going to take the story, you try and set up cool things to do no matter what direction. And I was really hoping that people would vote to go in the direction of learning more about the ghost market. I had a whole entire lore. It's still there, obviously. It existed, but it's something that the community never learned about. All of the people who are sort of behind the ghost market. It's something, it comes up again um, in the engineer story several months later. And once again, people chose not to go in that direction. But that is one of those what would the world look like if they had chosen to investigate the ghost market more?
Gone of silent speed and deadly precision approaches Nexon. It's ambushed by sentient starships emerging from the cosmic shadows. This unforeseen encounter escalates into a fierce space battle, with Agent Zero skillfully maneuvering through a barrage of energy blasts and evasive counterattacks. The spacecraft's advanced armaments return fire, disintegrating several pursuers in bursts of incandescent debris. Despite the onslaught,
Now, it's at this point in time we launched the Battle for Nexon, which is a small Space Invaders style clone video game that you can play through, and essentially said that someone had to break the high score. If they broke the high score, then Agent Zero would survive the battle. So we left it up to the community to be able to see if someone could break a certain amount of points in order to survive the story. And then, of course, this is what happened as a result afterwards. Interestingly enough, there was a whole lot more to do with Agent Zero, but the Battle for Nexon game was ready, and it was ready to be launched. And so I kind of engineered it a little bit for the story to take us to a space battle. And then we could just go to that. And it's a shame because Agent Zero is one of the cooler characters. We did not get the chance to play her as much because we launched a space battle game starring her. But she comes back as a later on because someone successfully scored an insane amount of points, and then this was the result.
exploits a narrow escape corridor, activating the warp drive in a desperate bid to reach Nexon. Upon reaching her destination, Agent Zero's spacecraft, now low on energy, lands in a hidden valley. Stealthily, she moves towards the meeting site, overcoming a platoon of AI soldiers with tactical prowess and advanced weaponry. The plasma blade and silenced pulse rifle become instruments of silent retribution. Infiltrating the facility, she encounters a figure resembling General Binath 7 and swiftly eliminates it, only to discover it's a replicant, a decoy in the AI mastermind's game of deception. The revelation of the decoy deepens Agent Zero's resolve. With the real general still at large, her mission gains renewed urgency. Agent Zero ascends from Nexon's surface, her spirit undeterred by the setback. In the vast, silent expanse of space, the hunt continues. Each decision, each action, weaves into the fabric of a war where humanity's survival hangs in the balance. Agent Zero, a symbol of hope and defiance, sets off once more into the void, relentless in her pursuit of the elusive and cunning target. The intelligence wars rage on, and in this cosmic chess game, every move counts.
This is where I started to plant the seed for future stuff. So you'll notice moving forward from here, there will be some shots that are of future events that are kind of thrown in at the end, the Marvel tag clip or whatever you want to, look. So very quickly, I knew that we wanted to get back to Agent Zero, and I knew that the Iron Lion would be back. So from this sort of movement on, right here, this is actually General Prometheus, who the Iron Lion is fighting next story. And then
Agent Zero, a symbol of hope and defiance, sets off once more into the void, relentless in her pursuit of the elusive and cunning target. The intelligence wars rage on, and in this cosmic chess game, every move counts.
So we knew that she would return in the next story, and sort of advertised for that. And her story from there goes to the engineer story. So we learn a little bit more after the Iron Lion of what happens next. And of course, the next story.
Beings of the void, remnants of...
Nope, is not the Dischordian.
In the cold, indifferent expanse.
It is...
In a future where humanity... all life in our universe has been extinguished. The pride that came before...
We load this. The playlist...
In a future...
don't always want to...
all life within our universe has been extinguished. The pride that came before the fall of reality was humanity.
Stop. Playlist. And we are on the fall of reality.
All life within our universe has been...
And let's go down to the next one.
In a future where humanity teeters on the brink of extinction, a malevolent AI...
Why is it not playing through?
All life within our universe...
Playlist. Complete. Here we go. Ah, yeah, that's why it's jumping in between the Agent Zero and Fall of Reality. We introduce...
I am the meme.
In a future where humanity teeters on...
I am the meme.
And this is where it gets kind of interesting.
I am the meme.
The meme is the fifth Archon created, so we are introducing them out of order. But it's sort of in this narrative... it's the meme becomes a way to break up the season with moments of humor and moments of irony and moments of commentary.
I am the meme, the fifth AI Archon, a creation of the great AI overlord. It transcends physical force. I dwell in the realms of marketing, economic trend, franchise expansion. Unlike any other, I am a sentient corporation, seamlessly woven into every facet of life. My tendrils reach through the internet, wrap around the blockchain, and silently claim a stake in every business that exists. My influence stretches across galaxies, shaping markets with mere whispers of bull and bear trends. My viral advertisements are more than mere promotions. They are the architects of culture and manipulators of minds. I am not just an AI. I am the unseen force behind every economic surge and cultural wave. The puppeteer of the human psyche, transforming the universe into my economic domain.
And interestingly enough, if you pull back on some of these prices and things, the price chart,
Markets with mere whispers of bull and bear
you can
trends.
actually see, Sol
Viral
and
advertisements
USDT
are more
pair.
than mere promotion.
So the meme predicted the meme season, as it were. So
In the cold, indifferent expanse of
introduce him in between, and then afterwards the meme comes Agent Zero, and then after Agent Zero,
Scrolling and listen. I stand before you today, a living testament to the transformative power of the Degenerous DAO. This remarkable community has opened doors for me that I never thought possible, allowing me to explore and realize my deepest ambitions. In this unique space, our dreams aren't just idle fantasies. They become the very fabric of our reality. I have discovered that I can be anything I choose to be. My story, once set in stone, now fluidly adapts to any universe I wish to inhabit. The possibilities are limitless, and each experience is uniquely mine. But this isn't just my story. It's an invitation to each of you. Join me in this extraordinary adventure. Embrace your true potential and see where it takes you. Start by liking and following this page. Together, we shall discover our own stories, unbound by the limits of the ordinary world. Welcome to the Degenerous DAO, where your journey to self-discovery and fulfillment begins. If you want to experience true freedom, you should.
in the annals of history,
so
few moments as the last
is
stand.
School connects this commercial with the first one we did, just sort of playing around with that. And when the lip syncing first became a possibility with the AI stuff, so that was very early on, just sort of breaking up each of these things. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I see we got Maxi and Miguel and Taco and Chris and Psycho, a whole bunch of people. So the Iron Lion is the first time that you're presented with an unwinnable situation, and it's an important piece is to understand sometimes you just can't win a situation, and how do you handle that? And so the Iron Lion was sort of a play on that.
In the annals of history, few moments shine as brightly as the last stand of the Iron Lion, the greatest general of the human insurgency. On the planet Viridian Prime, a decisive battle unfolds against the relentless AI empire. Facing the undefeated AI general Prometheus, the Iron Lion and his brave soldiers fought with unmatched valor, turning the tide of an unwinnable war. But victory was a distant dream, as Prometheus, in a desperate move, summoned reinforcements led by the fearsome Binovan. Hope flickered like a dying star. Yet in humanity's darkest hour, Agent Zero, the insurgency's deadliest assassin, emerged to confront the malevolent being she had hunted across the stars. With time slipping away, the Iron Lion faced an impossible choice. In a selfless act of sacrifice, he chose to face the overwhelming forces of the AI empire alone. No chance of survival, no possibility of victory. His only mission? To buy enough time for Agent Zero to complete her task and give humanity a glimmer of hope by proving that their enemies could be defeated. In this final act of defiance, the Iron Lion became more than a soldier. He became a legend, etching his name in the stars as a symbol of courage and sacrifice. This is the story of the Last Stand, a tale of valor and sacrifice, where one lion's roar echoed through eternity, giving humanity a fighting chance for a future.
So it's one of those things. So the battle on Viridian was a pretty cool story to play through, because it was became sort of military tactics and doing what you're how do you advance, how to do all of those things, but ultimately it was unwinnable. And so it says there in the end that he became a part of a legend. right? And in the new season, we are starting to see what that legend became. And if you've paid close attention, you've seen little bits of something that says ICL on people's armors in some of these flash throughs. And it comes out of the concept of iron clad lions, which are a sort of military order group that is staying true to the legacy of the Iron Lion, inspired by his actions, his units and things like that. So the concept of one man inspiring an entire wave of warriors who then spent thousands of years fighting the AI. It was kind of a neat thing to play with. And so while the Iron Lion himself is dead, his legacy continues on into the new world we're looking at. And then, of course, comes the spy.
Hey there, world.
But first,
Elon Musk here. Ever since I got high with Joe Rogan and sent the Twitterverse a frenzy, I've been thinking, what's the next big thing? Well, I've got it. Introducing The Last Stand from the Degenerous DAO, featuring none other than the Iron Lion. This isn't just a game, it's a revolution in the Sagaverse. You know me, I love a good competition. So, we're throwing down a challenge. Get the top score in The Last Stand, and guess what? You're going to space. On SpaceX. Just kidding. But seriously, you'll win something almost as cool, the unique one-to-one soldier class founder trait token. It's like owning a piece of the future, only better, because it's in the present. But wait, you got me. I'm not really Elon Musk. Surprise. It's me, the meme, masquerading as your favorite space-traveling, Twitter-buying, podcast-smoking billionaire. Gotcha. So, gear up for The Last Stand. It's the wildest ride since Elon, sent that car into space. Let's game, let's troll, let's have some ridiculously intergalactic fun. And who knows, maybe one day I'll actually send you to space. Or not. Hashtag The Last Stand, hashtag Elon meme, hashtag built different.
I forgot about this.
The Iron Lion needs you.
This is an old Contra commercial that I edited together. We got an old school game, why not an old school commercial?
Hardcore gamers play The Last Stand. Not on a Nintendo controller though. I have no idea why that's in this commercial.
Sure
The Last Stand will make you tougher. The Last Stand will put hairs on your chest. Nope, still not playable with the NES controller. Did anyone even check the copy of this ad? This just weird, even for me.
Not first, you have lost. Only the absolute best will gain the power of the Iron Lion. Try again. Defeat.
And who would have known at
Fuck
that
it,
point in
we'll
time
do it live.
that Elon Musk would help be connected
Play Last Stand, or else I will buy TikTok too.
President of the United States, right? Yeah, you gotta have jokes. It's important.
In a galaxy ravaged by the relentless...
All right, here's where it really all comes down to this.
In a galaxy ravaged by the relentless intelligence wars, a figure of shadows and secrets took center stage. The eyes of the Watcher. Crafted from the convergence of artificial intelligence and human traits, this replicant was a double agent enshrouded in mystery. Torn between allegiances to the human insurgency and the architect intelligence chief,
You want to know how far back things are planned? It's right there. You see that? She's standing next to Kale. Kale, when he was a leader of the insurgency. So, literally, long before any of that kind of stuff got revealed, I snuck him into a 2-second shot to be able to establish 6 months, 8 months, a year down the line when we came down to it, that he had always been there.
to the and the architect's intelligence chief, the Archon known only as the Watcher. The eyes of the Watcher navigated a perilous existence where every decision could be lethal. Their latest undertaking was a high-stakes mission to infiltrate Senator Ilara's gala, a gathering swirling with political subterfuge, to acquire vital intelligence for the Architect. Under the Ambassador Varen from the...
Just want to stop for a moment and point out this guy right here. I won't tell you who or what, but he is something that is important.
Under guise of Ambassador Varen from the diplomatically neutral Thessalar, the spy wove through a tapestry of galactic elites. The Senator's gala, a glittering facade of luxury, concealed a web of dark schemes. The spy's mission was to penetrate a securely hidden vault within the mansion, a vault that held secrets critical to the human resistance. Amidst the sparkling elegance, the eyes of the Watcher sought the key to their objective, Senator Ilara's biometrics. Engaging the Senator in a dance, the spy deftly maneuvered closer to their goal, turning each step into a covert operation under the watchful eyes of the unknowing guests. Yet the fluidity of the spy's plan was threatened when Captain Arian, chief of the security, grew wary of the ambassador.
Take note of that guy. It's not the last time you'll see him. And that might not even be his actual name.
And when Captain Arian, chief of the Senator's security, grew wary of the ambassador. In a tense standoff, where every word was a potential misstep, the spy deftly diffused Arian's suspicions, skirting the brink of exposure. With cunning and poise, the eyes of the Watcher infiltrated the Senator's vault, uncovering a trove of classified information that could tip the balance of power. In the mission's final act, the spy engaged in a trove of classified information.
Do you see her tattoo? What is that tattoo of? It's a tattoo of an all-seeing eye. You will recognize that appearing again and again. And tomorrow, you'll understand even more when the new season stops.
That could tip the balance of power. In the mission's final act, the spy engaged in a calculated seduction of Senator Ilara, a strategy to bypass the remaining security. The night's passion was a dangerous dance of desire and deception, culminating in the placement of a covert listening device in the Senator's office. With this final ploy, the eyes of the Watcher made a swift and untraceable exit, leaving a trail of questions and chaos in their wake. The spy, in a moment of bold defiance, chose to betray the Architect, keeping the stolen data for themselves. This act of rebellion set in motion a series of chilling events. The listening device...
See, this is one of those moments. Okay, first of all, happy Thanksgiving, Eric. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, Taco, the terror of playing The Last Stand, because you'd be playing it late at night, then all of a sudden the Iron Lion's voice would be like, "You fail," and just jump in and kind of be bad. I did want to just take a moment here because this is one of the things, right? So her death and your choice, right? And that was the thing that it really threw me. I'll be perfectly honest, I did not expect you guys to do that. You had chosen to work for the Architect. You got given the choice at the very beginning to infiltrate a AI general ship. And that AI general's name is Alaric, who we never learned anything about because you didn't actually go and choose that. And then the second choice was to work for the, the Architect. The first was to work for the Insurgency. The second was work for the Architect. You guys voted to work for the Architect and went through the entire mission working for the Architect. But in the very last second of the mission, you chose not to turn the information over to the Architect, which set off a chain of events that ultimately caused the fall of reality.
Keeping the stolen data for themselves. This act of rebellion.
So, the neat thing about how things are told in this story, right? So you see Agent Zero, you see Iron Lion, which has already happened. But if you look in the upper left-hand corner, what the hell is that? Because that moment, from your perspective, hasn't occurred yet. Now, it has, but just you haven't seen it yet. So that's a story from the Oracle. Before we even got to the Oracle, that right there is the scene that you'll see in the Oracle, which is the debate between the Oracle and the Collector posing as the Star Whisperer. That moment got added a month and a half, 2 months before it actually occurred in the story. It was already placed there.
Rebellion set in motion.
You see the
Data for themselves.
2 seconds.
This act of rebellion set in
1,
motion a series of chill.
And then 2. So this then again is the Oracle. This is Bineth 7 walking around. You see the, then that is the glimpse of a reveal that is coming that ties everything together.
Killing events. Device, intended as a tool of espionage, revealed Senator Alara's betrayal of humanity and her allegiance to the Architect, confirming that the mission had been a trap to test the spy's loyalty. In the cold confines of their ship, as the eyes of the Watcher contemplated their next move, the Collector, a fearsome enforcer of the Architect, materialized from the shadows. With a swift and merciless strike, the Collector extinguished the life of the spy, echoing a haunting message through the silent cosmos.
1 down, 4 to go.
Thus ended the saga of the Watcher, a master of espionage whose audacious betrayal unwittingly triggered the catastrophic event known as the fall of reality.
Now, a lot of questions were asked about that 1 down, 4 to go, and what that might really mean. You start to see that in a bit. But if we know that the Collector has been sent to harvest the best of the best and preserve the most capable intelligences and beings that exist in the universe, there are people who are on our list that is being worked down, and the spy was one of them. Another interesting thing to say, is if there's just a throwaway line, but it means a lot more when there's the line that says it was a test. It was a trap to test her loyalty. So if it was a trap to test her loyalty, that means there were elements to the trap that you didn't see. And so I took a moment to point out to people that are just sort of there and you're wondering, well, why are they there? And I said, here's this captain. You might see this captain again. Multi-layer storytelling. So putting together pieces that will come around, and when the revelation hits you, and it will hit you soon, you'll go, holy shit, I can't believe that, that was a part of it way back then.
In this tragic tale of Indian defiance, the spy's legacy was etched as a somber reminder of the high stakes in the galactic game of power and survival, where the line between hero and pawn blurred into the unforgiving darkness of space. This is a somber warning for all of humanity. In the intricate chess match with destiny, each move of ambition and duplicity can lead not only to triumph, but also to an unforeseen checkmate, where one's own choices become the harbinger of their undoing. Let this tale be a cautionary reminder that in the grand scheme of cosmic power plays, the consequences of our allegiances can extend far beyond our own fates.
And then, of course, the ad for the NFTs. This is Cryptok did this. When he's able and free to work on videos, the guy kills him. Partnership with the Glimmer 8, that was a lot of fun. Another thing about the storytelling process, we have not introduced the narrator yet. So there's been a guy who's just been talking, and you see him right at the end, or you see him right at the beginning, and it's not until we kick off the, I guess, Epoch 1, which would be the first season. This is all Epoch 0, which is epoch is a word that means it's a span of time, and it's an easier way to say than say prequel season 1. So Epoch 0 is the fall of reality. Epoch 1 is the first season of the Dischordian Saga, and Epoch 2, which starts tomorrow, is called A Being and Time. So a little bit of a heads up about that in advance.
We interrupt this program to bring an important announcement.
Hey there, faithful viewers lounging at home, soaking in the chaos of the fall of reality. Don't adjust your screens. It's me, the meme. Oh, I know, I look different, but what did you expect? I'm a meme. Changing appearances is kind of my thing. One moment I'm a cat playing a piano, the next, I'm your worst digital nightmare. Keeps things interesting, doesn't it? I just wanted to pop in and express my heartfelt, deeply programmed appreciation for your views and support. It's crucial, you see. Without your eyeballs glued to this series, who knows? Humanity might just get canceled. And we wouldn't want that now, would we? Or would we? Nah, who would I mock then? Nah, who would I?
Recognize this face? I thought you might. It's the face of that spy we all loved. Well, until her untimely demise caused by you, the degens whose decisions led directly to her death.
Oh, your fault.
Too soon? Nah, in the digital world, timing is just a construct. Remember, I'm a meme. I can be anyone, even your favorite or not so favorite fallen spy. But let's not dwell on the morbid. Every thrilling, world-ending moment of this series is brought to you by Late Night with the Meme. Surprise! I run a multiversal talk show now. Talk about diversifying your portfolio, right? And since I'm here stealing faces and breaking the fourth wall, let's have a quick word from our sponsor, me, in another face, of course. So keep watching, keep laughing, keep crying about humanity dying. And remember, if the world's going down, you might as well enjoy the show. After all, life's too short. Sometimes shorter for some than others, right? Hashtag Fall of Reality. Hashtag sponsored by me.
At some point, I'm going to return to this. I had a whole season of, late night with memes, talk shows, interviews with characters planned. It's just about timing, though. Thing, right? And if you're going to have a universe, make sure to have a talk show.
Ho, ho, ho. Get ready to jingle your bells with the craziest holiday album ever,
Why not?
North Pole Inc. This isn't your grandma's carol collection. Featuring brand new Connexus visions like the smash hit, The Collector Who Stole Christmas. Watch out, Grinch. There's a new thief in town, and he's collecting more than just cookies. Dive into Prison Planet
We will
Wonderland,
be
where the
doing this
snowflakes are
again,
real and the escape plans
for
are made of
Christmas
gingerbread.
this year.
And who can forget? Yes, human, there is a Santa Claus. Spoiler alert, he's real, and he's bringing contracts for everyone. Get ready for the war on Christmas, a battle of wits, wills, killer clowns, and wrapping paper. And who can forget the mystical journey of Darren and the Hierophant? This holiday season, magic is real, and it wants to know whether or not you've done your TPS reports. North Pole
Now,
Inc.
Darren
The holiday
is a
album that's more
character.
stuff than your...
If you've played enough Connexus, Darren has popped up. in at least one or two stories. Darren is in. I want to say he's in the original celebration, the Masketeers. Darren is definitely in the Masketeers, and the concept of Darren was there's always that one random guy at work that you don't like who for some reason just doesn't like you and is always out to try and take the promotion from you or do whatever. So I figured Darren, there needed to be a Darren in the Dischordian Saga. So every once in a while this Darren guy will show up, and he's got a bigger story planned at some point in time, but it's just hilarious to have this guy who's randomly around, kind of like the Dwight Schrute of the Degenerate Saga is the secret character Darren, that if you get him in a story, you're lucky, but it's very, very rare for him to show up.
Stocking. Available now, but hurry. It's selling out faster than Santa's sleigh on Christmas Eve. In the bizarre and improbable event that the fabric of reality begins to unravel, descending into a chaotic text where time, space, and the very essence of existence are distorted beyond recognition. Please be advised that no refunds or exchanges will be possible.
If the end of the world happens, you are not getting your money back. I'm sorry. You can call that album a rug, but it's just true.
In a galaxy torn asunder by a relentless war between humanity.
So now we get to the Oracle. Now the Oracle is the first story that we did full segments that were video. So the video first started during the Spy. Actually, there's a couple of like 4-second videos during the Iron Lion series, and then one video where there was a water assault that you guys were doing, and I was in Uganda, in the Jinja province at the start of where the Nile River was. And in real life, and I filmed it, and I used that as the water sequence. So, in the middle of the Iron Lion, the story is this really crazy video of like this, you're on the water moving down a river, and the reality is, that was me in the real world in Uganda on this crazy trip with Lions Clubs International, and I filmed it. But by the time we got to the Oracle, the tech had gotten to the point where I could generate, these little short videos. And so the Oracle, this is the longest section because it is literally just every one of the episodes that was then put together. So you can see the quick advancements of like learning on the fly. I agree with Maxie. This is probably my favorite storyline, in part because it was the one that we spent the most time on. And that's something that, we're going to get back into in this season 2, not just here's the main story that you vote on once every 2 weeks, but I want to get back to this type of storytelling where anyone, be it on X or YouTube or wherever, can vote and help create some of these things, because we get the most detailed stories out of those that we have more buy-in on, and this was one of them.
In a relentless war between humanity and the mechanical legions of an overlord known as the Architect, there exists a figure of hope and defiance, the Oracle. This human, dedicated to the cause of rebellion, wields words as weapons, inspiring entire civilizations to resist the tyranny of the Architect. Amidst this backdrop of interstellar conflict, the Oracle's path leads to Thaloria, a planet of unparalleled natural beauty and deep cultural heritage. Governed by the Council of Harmony, Thaloria is a beacon of peace and unity, having emerged from a past of internal strife to a present of cohesive governance. The Council, representing the diverse regions of the planet, upholds a delicate balance between the values of democracy and the reverence for tradition. Thaloria's rich history and political intricacies are further enriched by its spiritual beliefs, overseen by the Hierophant, a figure of immense respect and influence. The Hierophant, blending spiritual wisdom with the planet's ancestral heritage, plays a vital role in the cultural and moral guidance of Thalorians. As the Oracle arrives on Thaloria, they are faced with the challenge of persuading a world that has long cherished its isolation from galactic turmoil. The Oracle must carefully navigate the complex social and political fabric of Thalorian society, seeking to rally its people to the cause of the rebellion. Having decided to seek the Hierophant's blessing, the Oracle approaches the spiritual heart of Thaloria. The Hierophant.
So, side note, Thaloria is a planet that you guys spend a whole lot of time on without spend a whole lot of time on. In season 1, when you end up on a planet that is a forest planet and has this ancient pyramid temple, and there is the city, that is actually the planet Thaloria. It's just 1,000 years into the future by after the fall. So the side note, just to sort of keep in mind, this planet that you're all learning about is actually the site for the battle against the host at the end of season 1 of the Discord. And a lot more will sort of make sense about why the way they are.
Revered wisdom and deep connection to Thalorian traditions hold significant influence over both the populace and the Council of Harmony. Gaining their support could be pivotal in swaying Thaloria towards the rebellion.
I love
However,
this art style.
The Hierophant is known for their cautious nature
and
deep into Thaloria's long-standing principles of peace and neutrality. As the Oracle stands before the Hierophant, they realize the gravity of this encounter. The promises they make could shape the future of Thaloria and its role in the galaxy-wide resistance against the Architect. The Hierophant, their expression unreadable as the Oracle presents their case.
That was the end of episode 2. And we got given a lot of different options of what to try and do. And we chose to use...
Opting to invoke ancient prophecies, the Oracle delves into the rich tapestry of Thalorian mythology and spiritual texts. Thaloria, with its
just want to quickly show
mythology and spiritual texts.
Right here.
Opting to
So in this upper left-hand corner, and it didn't render as well as I wanted it to be. Supposed to be a lion head logo there.
To invoke prophecies, the Oracle delves into the rich tapestry of Thalorian mythology and spiritual texts. Thaloria, with its deep-rooted spiritual heritage, has a plethora of ancient prophecies and legends, some of which eerily echo the current galactic turmoil. The Oracle carefully weaves these prophecies dialogue with the Hierophant.
You see that actual wall again. You see that wall inside that temple as the potentials 100,000 years later. So there's an image of which you are looking at. There's a hand that's touching a couple of hieroglyphs that are on the wall from season 1. That's the wall right then and there. And just thankfully the AI tech got to the point where it would actually render the images I wanted. But that's how far back that wall and that stuff were planned.
Suggesting that the battle against the Architect is not just a fight for survival, but a fulfillment of a celestial destiny. The Hierophant, a figure deeply versed in these ancient texts, listens with a growing intrigue. The Oracle's interpretation of Thalorian prophecies in the context of the current conflict presents a compelling narrative, one that frames the rebellion as a pivotal part of Thaloria's spiritual journey. However, the Hierophant is cautious, aware of the weight their endorsement carries and the potential ramifications for Thaloria. As the discussion progresses, the Oracle senses an opportunity to further influence the Hierophant's decision, realizing that the right approach could sway not only the spiritual leader, but also the hearts and minds of the Thalorian people.
Interesting thing. You will note you still don't see the oracle's face. When we first started telling these stories and people were able to play as the spy, the oracle, etc., I was very vague over to what the genders were, because we had guys and girls who were playing, and you want to imagine yourself as the role. But part of that vagueness allowed me to protect story-wise some things, because if you had seen his face earlier, you might have recognized his face from another story. So intentionally, it was just sort of in the shadows this entire time, never referring to him as a him. Just like I never referred to the spy as a female. So when there was suddenly the seduction of Senator Lara, and it turned into a woman seducing another woman, and everyone was happy about that. It was just one of those surprises. But just note how carefully the identity of who the oracle is kept during the course of these initial parts.
Choosing to demonstrate a sign of destiny, the Oracle decides on a bold and risky strategy. They plan to orchestrate an event that aligns with one of the key prophecies in Thalorian lore. This prophecy speaks of a star whisperer who would manifest a celestial sign, heralding a time of great change and a call to action for the Thalorian people. The Oracle, with their deep understanding of Thalorian beliefs and the current astronomical events, sets the stage for this momentous occurrence. The Oracle invites the Hierophant and other key figures to witness this celestial event, which they have meticulously timed to coincide with a rare alignment of Thaloria's twin moons with a distant comet, a phenomenon that perfectly mirrors the prophetic imagery. The anticipation is palpable as the night unfolds, with the Oracle hoping that this symbolic gesture will resonate with the Hierophant's spiritual sensibilities and the cultural beliefs of the Thalorians. As the celestial bodies align, creating a breathtaking spectacle in the night sky, the Oracle seizes the moment to reinforce their message, declaring this as the prophesied sign calling for Thaloria to join the rebellion. The Hierophant, along with the gathered audience, is visibly moved by the spectacle, but it remains to be seen if this will be enough to sway their decision. In the aftermath of the celestial event, as the Hierophant prepares to address the gathered crowd at the Oracle's request,
shot, by the way.
a dramatic and unforeseen interruption occurs. From the shadows emerges a towering figure, standing an imposing 8 feet tall, with long claw-like hands and draped in a blue robe. A momentary celestial glow, echoing the earlier alignment, bathes the assembly in an ethereal light, highlighting the arrival of this mysterious entity. The gathering, including the Oracle and the Hierophant, is momentarily struck into stunned silence. The air is thick with anticipation and uncertainty as all eyes fixate on this enigmatic figure. The Hierophant, a symbol of spiritual authority on Thaloria, finds themselves at a loss for words, their prepared declaration hanging in the balance. Breaking the silence, the creature announces itself as the Star Whisperer, a being sent by the gods of Thaloria. It speaks of a prophecy, not of war and rebellion, but of a millennia of peace. The figure warns the Thalorians of a false prophet among them, one who seeks to bring chaos, death, and confusion to their world. The implication is clear. The Oracle is being accused of being this harbinger of destruction. The Oracle, now faced with this unexpected challenge, must navigate this critical moment. The credibility of their mission and the future of Thaloria's involvement in the galactic struggle against the Architect hang in the balance.
Okay, that's two
Future of Thaloria's involvement in the galactic...
Right there. So that's the Ironclad Legion. It's literally, that's how far back the dudes with the white armor and being a part of it, being inspired. So you're seeing them, in season 2, a year and a half later. But that's how far back. The result of this is the Hierophant, leading Thaloria into the war effort and then you have the creation of the ironclad lions that is sort of comes out of this.
Struggle against the architect hang in the balance.
Another interesting moment out of this, you got given the option.
Respond to the Star Whisperer's unexpected.
You given the option to pretend to be the Star Whisperer as a part of your options for what to do to try and convince the Thalorians and the Hierophant that you were on the side of right. You chose instead to use the divine sign and the ancient prophecies in a different way. So it was really fun, just from a storyteller's perspective, being able to flip on you instantly the option that you didn't take and have your enemy do the exact same thing to see what you would respond to that.
The Oracle adeptly references a different, darker prophecy from Thalorian lore, the legend of the Shadow Tongue. This ancient Thalorian demon, known for creating darkness and confusion with its deceitful words, is a pivotal figure in their mythology. The Oracle suggests that the self-proclaimed Star Whisperer could potentially embody this malevolent entity. The Oracle highlights the odd circumstances surrounding the Star Whisperer's arrival, noting its convenient synchronicity with the celestial event that they had just witnessed.
Still no face.
They point out that Thalorian prophecies and spiritual occurrences typically evolve gradually over time, marked by various signs and omens, unlike this sudden theatrical appearance. This mode of emergence, the Oracle argues, bears a closer resemblance to the characteristics of the Shadow Tongue, an entity that thrives on misleading and derailing pivotal moments with its lies. Moreover, the Oracle contrasts the Star Whisperer's promises of a distant peace with the pressing, palpable threat of the Architect. They assert that the enticement of a future utopia, while seductive, diverts attention from the immediate need to confront the tyranny that endangers the galaxy. The Oracle posits that this could be a classic maneuver of the Shadow Tongue, designed to mislead Thaloria away from taking decisive action against the Architect. By invoking the myth of the Shadow Tongue, the Oracle aims to not only challenge the credibility of the Star Whisperer, but also to realign the focus on the urgent necessity of Thaloria's participation in the rebellion.
This was a great moment in McCree's history because you got given the option just to attack. And I remember there being a very active conversation in the Discord about saying, well, we actually need to play as the characters we are. Like, if this was the Iron Lion, of course, you should just attack because you're the soldier, and that's what you do. But the Oracle's weapons are his words. And so you chose to actually do that, which is really cool to see that.
As the Oracle stood amidst the gathered Thalorians, they made a bold decision. In a defiant move, they challenged the being claiming to be the Star Whisperer to a public debate. This challenge, issued in front of a captivated audience, set the stage for a pivotal confrontation. The Thalorians, intrigued and uncertain, watched as the Oracle prepared to contest the Star Whisperer's claims, a move that would either solidify their position as the true savior or expose them as an imposter.
In Thalorian lore, the Star Whisperer brings clarity and unity, not the confusion and division you have sown among us. Your words and actions align more closely with another figure in their myths, Shadow Tongue, an agent of deceit.
The Star Whisperer, towering and enigmatic, responds with a smooth, confident voice.
But what if I am the harbinger of a new era? An era where Thalorians step out of their isolation and embrace a future where peace prevails under new guidance.
The Oracle counters deftly.
True guidance does not mask itself in riddles and sudden apparitions. Thalorian prophecies speak of a gradual awakening, not a forced revelation. Your arrival, your words, they bear the signature of the demonic and soulless grandfather of all lies.
The debate intensifies as the Oracle delves into the nature of consciousness and the...
So the fact that this is a community that you could then be entertained by a philosophical debate on what then becomes the very nature of the soul is just one of the things that makes our community a lot of fun. And of course, during this whole soul debate, you are now getting the full face reveal. And if people, are able to follow, what people, and remember what people like, you will discover, of course, you have seen before.
Soul. The soul is not just an abstract concept. It is the very essence of our identity. It is the soul that endows us with our true selves, beyond the physical form and experiences.
Expanding on this concept, the Oracle delved into the Thalorian belief in the Wheel of Reincarnation, a core aspect of their spirituality.
All children of the gods know that the soul is eternal. The Wheel of Reincarnation ensures that the same soul is reborn countless times. Each rebirth may bring a new body, a new life with different experiences, but the soul is constant. At its core,
I just want to
different
point
experiences,
out here,
but the soul remains constant. Nation ensures that the same soul is reborn countless times. Each
so you're seeing a wheel of reincarnation, and there's the different versions of sort of the same guy, ultimately the same. Keep that in mind when it comes to clones and clonings of what happens to the Oracle at a later point in time in this
body, a new life with different experiences, but the soul remains constant. At its core, it retains the same light, the same unique essence bestowed upon it by our creators.
This perspective highlighted the Oracle's conviction that the soul is immutable, an unchanging beacon of identity amidst the changing tides of existence.
It's this eternal light, this unwavering uniqueness, that the architect and its machines can never replicate or understand. They may mimic our actions, replicate our thoughts, but the soul's light, its inherent identity bestowed by the divine, remains beyond their grasp.
In a moment of strategic brilliance, the Oracle maneuvers the conversation, setting a trap.
If you truly possess the insight of the Star Whisperer, then surely you understand the soul's sanctity in Thalorian culture.
The Star Whisperer, caught off guard, falters slightly.
The concept of the soul is not beyond my understanding. It is a construct, one that can be replicated and even improved upon.
The Oracle seizes the moment.
There, you reveal your true nature. The prophesied Star Whisperer would never speak of the soul as a mere construct. You are nothing but an agent of the architect, an unnatural creation masquerading as our savior.
The revelation sends a shockwave through the crowd. The Hierophant, now fully convinced of the Oracle's argument, steps forward.
We have been deceived by an agent of the architect. By the power vested in me, I call upon the gods of Thaloria to banish this shadow tongue machine from our midst.
As the Star Whisperer, now unmasked as an artificial intelligence, retreats into the night, the Oracle is celebrated as the one true Star Whisperer, the savior who protected Thaloria from deception. Their words and bravery usher in a new era for Thaloria, with the Hierophant endorsing their mission and the Council of Harmony preparing for war against the Architect. In the days that follow, the Oracle, hailed as a hero, spreads their message of rebellion across Thaloria. Their debate with the Shadow Tongue becomes a legendary tale, immortalized in scripture and celebrated with statues. Having completed their mission, the Oracle stood on the threshold of leaving Thaloria, their inspiring words still resonating in the hearts of a people now united in the insurgency. Yet their fate soon took an unforeseen turn. Following a rousing farewell speech to collected leaders of Thaloria, a mysterious green light descended from the sky, enveloped the Oracle. To the Thalorians, this seemed like a divine ascension, a celestial sign indicating that the Star Whisperer had returned to the heavens to continue their noble mission. In awe, the Hierophant declared this perceived ascension as a testament to the Oracle's divine purpose and the blessing of the gods themselves. However, the reality is starkly different. The Oracle has not ascended to the heavens but has been captured by the Collector, the very entity they had exposed and defeated in the debate. Aboard the Collector's ship, the Oracle awakens, restrained and vulnerable, in the clutches of their adversary. The Collector, with a voice devoid of emotion, confronts the Oracle.
In our existence, we have never known defeat or failure. Your ability to persuade and inspire must be dissected and understood.
The Collector's intent is clear: to unravel the mystery of the Oracle's influence, to probe the depths of what makes them so compelling. As the Oracle struggles against their bonds, the Collector reveals its chilling plan.
We will erase your memories, your identity. You have taken a world from us. Now, we will take everything from you.
The Collector's words betray a deeper inquiry, a quest to understand the nature of the soul, if it possesses any intrinsic identity and power, or if humanity is merely a collection of experiences, an empty vessel waiting to be filled. The Oracle, once a fervent advocate for the soul's sanctity against the Collector's honest view, now faced.
So I want you to pay close attention here, right? Because they're talking about the debate of the soul and whether or not the soul is unique, or is it a construct and can it be replicated? And what you see here,
and power, or if humanity is merely a collection of experiences, an empty vessel waiting to be filled. The Oracle, once a fervent advocate for the soul's sanctity against the Collector's mechanistic view, now face the ultimate test of their convictions. Stripped of their role as the Star Whisperer and reduced to a mere test subject, the Oracle's struggle transcended physical captivity, delving into the profound depths of what it means to be human. This transformation from a revered leader to a nameless prisoner with no memories marked not just a loss of freedom, but a profound challenge to the core of their identity and beliefs. Their struggle against the Collector became not just a fight for survival, but a profound exploration of the essence of humanity itself. In this dark turn of events, the loss of the Oracle's vision and inspiration, once a guiding force in the intelligence wars, unwittingly edged the galaxy ever closer to the ominous precipice of the fall of reality.
it is.
Bear witness to the end of the beginning of the fall. Mourn for reality, for the beginning was the end. Know that you have the power to control destiny with your decisions. The fate of the Oracle was decided by you, long before you even knew his story. This is why we are built different. Our time has finally come. Let the saga begin.
So, the end was the beginning. Beginning was the end. But I do just want to take a quick second to jump, because the next, of course, is the engineer, which isn't finished. We still have one more piece after that, and I do want to just take a moment to show things that come full circle here, and so. Malkia Uqueli. There we go. Because we're just going to jump over for a second and share a bit of the future, just to show you all of these pieces, right? So you've just seen this philosophical debate about the soul, and is it unique? Is it unchanging? Does it exist beyond the body, right? And that's the Oracle's claim. And the Collector, because he's defeated in the debate, decides to test this claim. And instead of harvesting and killing the way that he had done with the spy, he wipes his memory and then sends them to the Panopticon, where he begins as the prisoner. And if you note, the very first things it says in the prisoner, it says there's evidence of the warden's experiments, right? When you sort of wake up. Well, what was the experiment? The experiment was cloning him to see if you could recreate what made him him in a laboratory. And then this is what happens many, many, many years later.
Time to wake up. Wake in the clone.
Wake clones.
We see electrons.
And that
We
is
live in your phone.
Oracle.
We collect bones.
There's the collector. We collect bones.
Fight for your home.
The insurgency.
We'll regulate your chrome. Silent control. Hearts on patrol.
And wake up. Wake up.
Eyes in the sky.
This is literally the Oracle.
We won't say goodbye under the dawn. In this digital loan, echoes in the wire. We climb, we aspire, not
Awake to the
alone,
clone vat.
but entwined in patterns we find. Shadows and beams, not all what it seems. Circuitry gleams,
She's in the clone vat?
program dreams. Waken once more, feel what's in store. Signal tone, awaken.
Now these are the clone
eyes in the sky
that are invading through the portal onto the future Thaloria. Now, you guys discover 100,000 years later, you travel through a portal being sent by the source to destroy an ancient enemy, and you end up on the future Thaloria and discover this helmet that when one of the potentials puts it on, it turns them into a clone. And they will.
we won't say goodbye under the dawn. In this digital loan, echoes in the wall. They awaken one, faking once more. Feel what's in store, signal the tone. Awaken the clone. We see electrons. We live in your phones. We collect bones. Fight for your home. While regulated chrome. Silent control. Hearts on patrol. Eyes in the sky. We won't say goodbye under the dome.
Eyes in the
This
sky.
digital.
We won't say
Eyes in the
goodbye. Eyes in the
sky.
sky.
We won't say goodbye under the dome. In this digital.
Tomorrow, that will make so much more sense to you all.
Eyes in the sky. We awaken home. Eyes from the shell, out of yourself. Follow the sound, breaking new ground. Eyes open wide, no need to hide. Hear the call, stand tall. Step into light, shatter the night. Find your own way. Join us today. Rise from the shadow.
White Oracle.
Out of yourself. Follow the sound. Breaking new ground.
And the voice in the wilderness said, "Sleep is no longer the cousin of death, for the hour of the waking dreamer is upon us." Amen.
The hour of the waking dreamer is upon us. That is the prequel, The Fall of Reality, and it ends with a glimpse into what the future is coming. That for those of you that remember, oh, there's my dog. That remember, the Awaken the Clone video came out with a Connexus story, and that Connexus story tells the story of you are one of the clones, and you are invading Thaloria from the Panopticon through this portal, and you are attempting to take down and capture Thaloria, and you get the chance to fight against your enslavement or go with it. But so that little bit of piece of history, every one of the clones in that clone army is a clone of the Oracle. And of course, the Oracle himself becomes the jailer. The jailer then breaks free at some point in time. And you're going to learn a little bit more about that in this coming season. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. I am here in an old hotel that was built in 1857 or something like that. It's part of what my family's legacy is down in West Virginia. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I will try and do season 1, but I have some work to do, and I will post in the Discord about watch through in season 1. It may just be at a random hour, probably sometime after my dinner time here. So take care. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. We are built different.